things about moderns is that they have this idea that they're free. And what's really interesting about moderns is that because they don't have, particularly in a lot of the Western countries, is that they've lost this idea of spiritual liberation. And so they become slaves to the lowest aspects of themselves. They become slaves to drugs, they become slaves to sensual pleasures, they become slaves to food, they become slaves to image, they become slaves to all these different things out there, and they don't have this inward freedom, which is really what the Quran is talking about, because the tahqiq al-ubudiyyah, which is the realization of one's state with God, is to realize four qualities. It's the realization of impoverishment. Once you realize that God is absolutely independent, you realize that you are absolutely dependent. So that's the realization of impoverishment. The realization of complete ajiz, which is incapacity. Once you realize that God is absolutely capable of doing all things, you realize that you're incapable. And then also ignorance. Once you realize that God is al-alim, you realize that you're the jahil. And then also the realization of the state of humility or humiliation, dhul, which is dalil, that you are humbled. And then that God is al-aziz. Now, in realization of that, and this is the beauty of it, is that you become ghani billah, you become enriched by God, you become knowledgeable by God, you become dignified by God, and you become powerful by God. So in realizing your servanthood, you're actually drawing near to these attributes that God has manifested in the world, which are divine attributes. Because here, the purpose of Islam is to show the way to Tawheed, where Tanzih and Tashbih dwell in this proper balance. To be human is to be relatively free, but to be as free as it is humanly possible to be free can only come about when full submission and surrender to reality is achieved. You can be relatively free. I mean, in America, people are relatively free. They can get up, get in their car, drive to where they want. They can go eat it wherever they want, buy what they want, this type thing. There's a relative freedom. But real freedom is realizing your state of submission to God, because that frees you from putting faith in other than God. Because any faith in other than God is always going to let you down. And it's part of the nature of the world. And once you see that, you actually, when people let you down, you realize they're doing you a favor. And you don't have anger towards them, because they're being human. That's the whole point. Because the only one that won't let you down is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.